Now, CCTV's Owen Fairclough spoke to Clement Leung, Hong Kong Commissioner for Economic and Trade Affairs to the United States. He began by asking him if Hong Kong is able to withstand the current tensions over electoral reform.
I think in an open society like Hong Kong, it's very usual for people to have different opinions on different things. Not to mention something as important as Hong Kong's political development. I think the issue is that we need people to sit together to talk to each other in a peaceful manner. And of course, our understanding is that the National People's Congress Standing Committee will provide for a framework, and there would be a chance for people to continue to discuss on the issue to hopefully arrive at a consensus. And of course, the Hong Kong government has also been undertaking that there would be a further round of consultation to discuss the details of the electoral reform package. And that will be the opportunity for different political groups to sit together and try to reach a consensus.
Let's turn to the economy in Hong Kong. It's traditionally been seen as a place for IPOs. It's had some big IPOs in recent years. Have things tailed off just a little bit, though? For example, Alibaba is going to list in New York rather than an Asian destination.
I would say that Hong Kong remains to be the premier international financial center of Asia. And of course, we can see that these IPOs or this listing or these fundraising activities there are ups and downs to it. And as a very practical issue for people who are issuing shares or who are planning for the IPOs, they will look at many different things. Of course, the location that is best for their strategy, and of course, the market environment. So I would not be too troubled by seeing a quieter market situation at different times of the period. Because notably in the first quarter or the first half of the year, there has been some concern about slowing down in the mainland economy. Market situation may not be right, but I think Hong Kong has its own advantage as being the most Chinese international city and as well as the most international Chinese city. As an international financial center, we have to have credibility in the international investment community. And what the international investment community value most is certainty, robustness in regulation, and governance, and transparency. So these are the issues that Hong Kong will not compromise.
Hong Kong's GDP dipped a little bit earlier this year. How much of that do you think is down to less people coming to Hong Kong to spend because of the anti-corruption campaign?
A lot of that slowdown is caused by slower tourism spending. And of course, the slowdown in the Chinese economy is one factor. But of course, domestic consumption, private consumption is also having a drag within Hong Kong. So I think a lot have to do with the unfavorable economic environment in the first quarter. There is also some geopolitical tension elsewhere in the world. Japan economy is slowing down because after they have increased the sales tax. Eurozone's recovery is also not as favorable as many people anticipated. So I think that is a combination of different factors.
What's the future of Hong Kong? What is its place in the world in, say, the next 10 or 20 years?
I think Hong Kong will continue to perform very strongly. First of all, Hong Kong's economy is very closely integrated with that of the mainland, which is our hinterland. The Pearl River Delta remain to be our manufacturing stronghold. We handle a lot of the foreign investment that is going into China and going out of China.
Again, our thanks to Clement Leung, Hong Kong Commissioner for Economic and Trade Affairs to the United States.